If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. I put out new Storybook Brawl videos every single day at 9:30 p.m. EST, and turns out most of you guys aren't subscribed yet, so what are you waiting for? I'm a pretty small channel, so I do also pay a lot of attention to comments and likes, so let me know what type of content you guys want to see. Enjoy the video. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we're going to be taking a look at a sweet Horde Dragon game. On the previous patch, you can see that Crafty is a 1-1, and we did have a little bit of a weird lag here at the start of the game. You can see I was still able to move my cursor around, so it was just a really weird bug that happened. But we're going to take a golden chicken here. And I was even debating, should I skip through this game some? Maybe I will a little bit, because the beginning isn't that exciting. We just play Storybook Brawl on the previous patch, and we've moved on to the next patch now. But the end gets really exciting. So I have seen some people say, even on the old patch videos, even on games where you're really just trying to focus or showcase the end game, I would still like to see that early game stuff happen. This is a really interesting turn because I'm actually pretty surprised that I don't go for the Wizard's Familiar or the Happy Little Tree. Both of these units I really like on Horde Dragon, but I think I was just trying to play the strongest board as much as I could. But I really like Wizard's Familiar on Horde Dragon because it is able to potentially triple into a Hat Ball. And I really like Happy Little Tree because oftentimes you wind up going into trees in the late game as Horde Dragon. Really don't like this shop though at all. And I'm not sure what we do with it. I feel like, yeah, it's Labyrinth Minotaur plus the Kitty Cut Purse, just so that way I've got a few things that all have to attack. And I like the Kitty Cut Purse in the back line too. So I agree with those plays, just not something super strong. And this is a huge thing in terms of why the Crafty really needed a buff. I've seen, 2, 3 Crafties this game? I may have even seen 3 Crafties, but individually I could not be convinced to pick up any of them because they're all 1-1s. And I have been losing combats anyways, partially due to Shorewood Sure Shot, but you really just can't take that guaranteed damage and say, sure, I'm going to take guaranteed damage for a Crafty that might grow bigger later in the game if I find some more of this horrible unit. Again, just a little bit of lag. This lag was happening in real time. So don't quite know what was going on there, just a little bit of back-end stuff, but that is not on your monitor, nor is it on mine. That is, just a weird glitch that was happening right there. This seems like a fine board pickup, like Vampire plus Sure Shot, and then go for Candy Rain. I think that gives us a pretty strong board as far as what we're looking at here. We could also sell Golden Chicken, maybe sell one other thing and buy a Lucky, or just sell Golden Chicken for Baby Root. Either of those, I think, could have been defendable plays, but I like this as well. And we'll just save that Golden Chicken for a double. Yeah, there I am talking about potentially going for the Lucky. Oh, do I go for it? Okay. This is fine. It makes our board a little bit weaker, but it does ultimately make us just a little bit more likely to have more gold on the next turn because Kitty Cut Purse isn't always going to work. So here we will see some trades here, and luckily my opponent had that black cat. I think we tie regardless. Yeah, if they didn't generate a black cat, then we would have tied. Here we have a really interesting, just kind of funny scenario. We didn't get any of the Fannies discounted, but just a triple of Fanny? Sure, why not? We will grab a tier 3 treasure for free. So 3 real options here: Ring of Revenge, Telltale Quiver, and Bad Moon. But when we've got a Vampire that is already decently big, I think that this is a fine place to pick up a Bad Moon here. And I'm going to lock for Wish Upon a Star. Basically, I think that there's 2 ways to play Horde Dragon. You can play it so that you are really trying to aggressively pursue treasures in the early game, potentially get something like Hat Ball online, or just get a really powerful early treasure. I'd argue the second way is to get an early 3 Blind Mice triple and get an early 5-cost treasure on the cheap. And then another way to play Hoard Dragon, and of course you can mix and match with these strategies. Trees often just plays like a solid mid-game, but what I'm getting at here, the other play style that I really like is to go for XP and then go for 7 treasures. And that is what this game is really going to be focusing on. So we don't really have to worry too much about skipping through the mid-game. I'm going to be skipping through the mid-game plenty enough by buying XP. So we'll see how that works here for us. Looking decently good against this Queen of Hearts, but the Queen of Hearts is going to be enough to win the combat for my opponent. But we're growing this Vampire decently big, and hopefully that is enough. We just lost to the last place person in the lobby, so it seems a little bit scary to try to pick up this Wish Upon a Star, but I think it is the right move to do so. I can sell one of my units here and buy the Wish Upon a Star plus the Vampire. And honestly, it's a little bit tricky because I do want this Wish Upon a Star, but the doubly would also represent a 9/9, which is like a pretty decent power spike as well. So there's some really interesting decisions to be made here, but I'm going to sell the Baby Dragon, buy the Vampire, and not purchase the doubly. Now, we are once again playing up against the worst place person in this lobby. We're playing against the Miri. I don't know if the Labyrinth Minotaur or the second Sherwood Sure Shot is better. It's honestly a really tough call, but I'm going to go with the Sherwood Sure Shot and just hope the Vampires already have enough stats beyond that. And we'll be looking to pick up another Vampire, grab a tier 4 treasure, and get a pretty large unit that can keep scaling. And looks like both of these Vampires are going to have enough attack to slay, and the Labyrinth Minotaur is going to be enough to take out some things as well. Really good hits for the Fanny, enough that we tie it, but unfortunately tying does not count for Wish Upon a Star. So really unlucky there that we do not get the actual win. It means that we won't get the bonus there. Now I'm just going to put in a free tiny that we just picked up and have the option here for a few different things. Do I want a Merlin's Test? Do I want to copycat? At the same time, we've got 3 different triples, so it makes a lot of sense to try to triple on one of these. And then I see the end. So I do think the end, grabbing some more experience, could be really good here. I do have to kind of decide what I'd like to do. Chupacabra also seems really good because of the fact that it is now backward supporting 2 ranged units, which is always really good with Chupacabra. And then, of course, we'll just be able to grow because we've got this Bad Moon. So we've got treasures that work with it as well. And I think this was a pretty good turn here, pretty good pickup. It's going to be tough for the Chupacabra to continue to grow, but the fact that we've got this Bad Moon is going to help it out a little bit. But this is the old Chupacabra. That's what I was getting at. It's going to be getting +1/+1, and giving +1/+1 would definitely be a lot better. You can see in a scenario like this, if it was supporting 2 ranged units, that it would be able to just really make much more use of that +2 attack as a bonus instead. Don't think, oh wow, the Vampire is going to get a slay. That means Chup is not going to be able to get a slay though. Hopefully we can take out these trees without taking too much damage though, because their backline is looking pretty strong here as well. Really just that their front line is so strong does mean that we are going to get another loss, but we're still 2 XP up on the lobby, so that is not the worst place to be. And we'll see what we can make happen. I do like potentially supporting a Friendly Spirit and a Mummy on the Chupacabra. but I think that we can do a little bit better here. We do see a pair, which is always tempting as Horde Dragon, but nothing that I'm going to want to pick up here. Now, one more roll, we do see a Baba Yaga. We also see a Nyan Sea Terror, which is pretty hard to pass up when you are Horde Dragon, because it'll give you a level 6 treasure. I do think Baba Yaga is just so good on this current board, though. I'm trying to see, is there a way to buy it? If we feed the Kraken and then sell the rest of our bench, we can actually buy the Nyan Sea Terror. So let's go for that. I'm just trying to buy and sell the chicken in the interim. Oh, I'm not going for the Sea Terror. That's really interesting because I don't want to break up. I'd be breaking up 2 pairs by selling my bench, and I can understand the reservation. Could also have broken up 1 pair and then like sold the dwarves or something like that, and then play the 2 Minotaurs in the back line and play the Sea Terror in the front line. But again, I can understand not wanting to do so, because hanging on to Shorewood Shoreshot is just another good pair that we can hang on to. So we are going to face up against an Ashwood Elm here, possibly that was polymorphed into, but really strong, really big units for my opponent. They aren't quite going to be able to steal my Vampire, which is really, really good for us, but we aren't going to be winning this combat either. We're going to be taking, looks like, what is this, 8 damage down to 17. Then we have the option for Shorewood Shoreshot. Shall we get a tier 3 treasure? Treasure map is always really sweet on Horde Dragon. Now we just have to make a tier 5 treasure, so that's something like tripling Chupacabra, and we'll be able to make that work. But you know what? Golden Chicken, this gives us a 5. I think a 5 is still pretty good. Monkey's Paw buys us a lot. Mimic is obviously really, really strong, especially on Horde Dragon. But I do think we have to take Monkey's Paw. We've lost the last like 3 combats here, so we really need some additional stats. Those additional stats are also going to help us slay, which just helps us be even stronger. It's also backline supporting 3 now different ranged units, so that will also be pretty good. I have to sell one of my units just to be able to bench something here. So we sell the Fanny so that we can bench the Lucky, and then we're going to cast a Potion of Strength with our coin that we got from selling the Fanny. But now everything got +6/+6. You know, that's not bad. Horde Dragon tripling grabbing a level 5 treasure on level 5 isn't that impressive, but it is going to be impressive in that it helps us just stay alive. So I am happy enough for that, and these breakpoints have been pretty good here, as well as the mittens have been pretty decent stuff. Lightning Bolt is going to take out Sure Shot, but we're getting some decent slays in, and we're going to be able to win this combat. We're actually up in XP over APOC, so like I said, a lot of XP. I feel like stuff is going pretty well. We can't find Treasure Map anymore, but we can find Ancient Sarcophagus. And Sark seems like a pretty good treasure at this point in the game, because everything that we're playing, aside from this Shorewood Shoreshot, is evil. So now you can see we've got a really big board. I'd really, really love to triple this Vampire, if only because we would get a lot of stats on it. Grab one more Baba Yaga, that's going to be better than the Minotaur. And the other thing that I'm doing here, you might notice, is that I've saved a bunch of chickens going into level 8. I am going to sell off one of my golden chickens here just to buy a Friendly Spirit. And I might even frontline this Friendly Spirit, because there is not too much use out of the Vampire, and then we could have the Friendly Spirit to start growing. But Vampire is just a little bit bigger, so might as well keep it in. Friendly Spirit in 3, or not Friendly Spirit, sorry, Shadow Assassin. You'll notice here also that we are playing on the previous patch, and we're making Slay work, and Slay is only getting better now with the addition of Grimsoul. So this game kind of shows you that Slay can actually still work, despite not having access to all of the best Slay units here. and not anything super impressive with that. Now, that said, we are going to be transitioning off of Slay, just because Slay doesn't receive that much from all of the tier 7 treasures that are in the game. Maybe they could put Harvest Moon on tier 7. That could be cool. But we are going to just start rolling now. We're tier 6. I don't want to spend my time using that worm root. I want to find some good level 6 characters that we can triple and start to make some tier 7 treasures. So just rolling for a bunch of those. I will take the Vampire, probably skipping this treasure. I can't imagine a 4 that's better than what we have. You have Ring of Rage. Ring of Rage could have been good, but probably not better than the scaling that we could potentially see off the Bad Moon. Now I will put in the Shadow Assassin. Do have to decide if I want to pick up the... if I want to pick up the... Oh, what's it called now? Heartwood, Ashwood Elm. And Evil Eye is looking really, really tempting here. So we go for the Evil Eye, we cut the Sarcophagus, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put in Shorewood Sure Shot. And then we take our time rolling. You know what? Hercules, I think that is worth locking as we are Horde Dragon. So definitely a little bit of an interesting game here. Going for this Slay comp, and we are going to try to see how much we can scale off of slaying. Pretty interesting, for sure. I take a drink of water as I am coughing way too much for you guys, clearing my throat. When I do those patch note reviews, just talking for whatever it is, only like an hour or so, but also recording a few videos in this session. Another tier 6 here. The pigs does work pretty well with the monkey's paw, but I figure out something pretty clever here that you will see in a second. We are doubling our support bonuses, and I actually did just grab another support last turn. So when we go for the Shadow Assassin, that is going to be enough to fill up our board here. Don't really think I want anything to do with any of these treasures, but look at that. We just put Herc to 50 attack. So now, playing up against the Ghost, we're going to basically grab a free tier 7 treasure here from Hercules. And this is not really, I would love to be able to say that I totally calculated this and totally saw this one coming, but this was just totally random that our Herc is going to be able to grab a tier 7 treasure with relative ease here, especially against the Ghost. The numbers just worked out. Double from upgraded Baba Yaga, double from upgraded Mad Mim, plus the Monkey's Paw. Turns out that equals 30. And 30 plus 20 onto the Hercules is going to give us a free tier 7 treasure. So pretty sweet stuff here. We'll grab that tier 7, and then I believe what we will get from that is what causes us to pivot, because I believe our first tier 7 option is, oh no, Excalibur, Mirror, Magic Sword. Okay, that's not what I remembered, but that's still pretty sweet. So how can we make use of this? Magic Sword's really powerful. Mirror is just so good. The thing is, we don't have anything that currently works with Mirror. Excalibur isn't great because we're Horde Dragon, so it really doesn't help us too much. So I'm gonna go for Mirror. I think that's the play. There's still a lot of game to go. There's still 6 players left in this lobby, so at least 3 more battles, right? 3 people get eliminated, then there's 3 left, then 1 person gets eliminated. Yeah, so at least 3 more battles. We're gonna go for Mirror here, and then we're gonna see if we can pick up anything else that can work with this Mirror. Medusa actually does work pretty well with Mirror, so I don't hate that. And then let's see, we roll, we can find a double of eggs. We can find an evil twin. I don't love any of this though yet. Chupacabra, meh. Don't think that's particularly exciting. A pair of dragons though. I do think that that is good. They will also have the Baba Yaga supporting them, so they will be able to deal a little bit more damage. And then we probably want to frontline this Vampire too. I don't know quite how that got into the back line, but frontlining Vampire seems like it will be good. If some of these hits could go onto the Hercules, then we could potentially get another treasure, but yeah, seems a little bit unlikely. We're really just on Friendly Spirit plus large ranged units here, and that is going to be enough to win this one. It won't be enough to kill Miri. We put her down to 2, and that's where I said that it would take even more than just 3 battles for this game to be over. Let's see what else we can come up with. I do think Medusa in 2 makes a lot of sense, so that way we can put the dragon in 1. And we do need to, I don't know why I'm so concerned with having slot 4 open, but Medusa actually makes a lot of sense there. Yeah, I like that. Okay, well now I can get behind it. And then, yeah, again, kind of do want the, oh, I like that. Okay, so we're not fully making use of the mirror. Have to lock this, don't I? Have to cast the shard on the Hercules, and now I actually want to change things up again here and put in more monsters. So now I'm going to put in the Oni King now that I got the Oni King there. And I have to lock these 9 Seaters because that's going to give us a free level 6 treasure, and that's just too good to pass up. Yeah, definitely some interesting decisions being made here, trying to oscillate between playing the best board and figuring out how to transition in some capacity. We are going to get a double attack with this Medusa, though, and that's pretty good. And the fact that Medusa is a monster means that it's attacking and getting plus 20 and just trading with things that attack into it as well. So a lot of really good stats here on the board. They're not even going to kill the Medusa while attacking into it, and then Baba Yaga will finish them off. We don't quite finish them off totally. We just hit them for 15, down to 15. But we will get to pick up a tier 6 treasure here, probably getting rid of the Evil Eye, and Phoenix Feather's pretty good, but so is Pandora's Box. Grab a level 7 treasure. I definitely forgot about how the end game happened in this. I thought that I got the mirror off of the Pandora's Box, but I forgot that I just got a mirror and then didn't really do anything with it for a little while. So that is what we're going to see now as, I don't know what I mean by that, but Storm King gives us a 50-50 unit. It is also, Storm King is also actually kind of okay with Mirror. It will resummon as a 20/20. I don't know what treasure we're getting, but we already have Mirror. So at this point, it's a little bit late, but I am going to transition into Good Boy slowly but surely here. And I'm looking, I can just buy out this whole shop next turn, potentially sell some of my board, buy this whole shop, and that will be really good with just to have a bunch of good units. Good Boy Mirror is basically just enough to carry a board by itself. So that is the plan here now. And we will be up against a copycat Good Boy player. Luckily, we get to scam them a little bit by attacking into their copycat, which means that they're not going to have too much stats across the rest of the board, and actually looks like they're not going to have too much stats at all. We're going to take out their Good Boys, and really, my opponent is not doing too much. They're not even able to get past my Vampire, and we kill Mrs. Claus. So there you go. There is a win against somebody that could have definitely peaked and been a problem in this lobby. And we've got the Holy Grail next turn. So we are definitely transitioning here. I think, yeah, we're just going to buy all of these good units, like I said. We want to set ourselves up well for next turn. We're actually up against the Ghost too. So I think for that reason, I don't actually bother with trying to buy all of these good units that we're just going to sell off next turn anyways. But this is a hard holy grail because we are going to be fully transitioning our entire board. So this just means that I'm going to have to like super concentrate. I don't know if I'm locking this copycat here. But yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. So this is going to be an interesting one for sure. Just realizing now, I think I should definitely have the Baba Yaga and the Shadow Assassin switched. So that way the Baba Yaga is still supporting the Vampire, but I don't think it matters too much here. And I'm actually not locking the Copycat. I think the reason for that is because I'm Horde Dragon, and I want to grab some additional level 7 treasures. I'm going to be playing a treasure down once we transition. So I want to, or once we use the Holy Grail. So I want to make sure that I'm finding other treasures to replace that. We should be good here against the Ghost just because of the fact that our ranged units are so large here, but this definitely could have gone bad for us here. We could have lost this one, but luckily we are able to win, and now I think we are in the, no, not quite in the finals either. So let's roll, let's find, should have picked up that health potion, but oh well, what can you do? We need to roll, we need to find some good boys, and we only have such limited time to do it. I think I also could have cast that health potion there, but first things first, let's grab a new treasure. We grab Magic Sword. Now we've got Magic Sword, Mirror, Mirror. This is great. We throw in the Lady of the Lake to support this front row. I'm gonna dream, and we dream into Sadrak. This is where new Sadrak would have been absolutely gangbusters. It would have been insane. However, it is still going to be pretty good for us here. We're looking for one more good unit. We find a Lady of the Lake. At this point, we're really just, it's Mimic or Bust. So we'll take this, and that is fine. I need to put any good units in at this point. Not sure that I really should have dreamed, but we've done it. And now I'll just keep rolling, and I see a Knighthood. I lock for it, and I'm really considering locking, but I'm just kind of like throwing away gold by not using it here. So I roll a little bit more. I feel like I can potentially roll into some more Bearsteins and maybe grab a Mimic that way, because a Mimic just makes us go absolutely bananas. But I'm still feeling pretty powerful here with Good Boy plus Magic Sword plus Mirror Mirror plus Monkey's Paw. Plus we've got a Sadrak too, so we're even growing that Good Boy that is in slot 1. But we're really just growing everything here, growing this entire board. And the Friendly Spirits are triggering onto themselves, so that is a ton of stats as well. I think this one, yeah, triggers onto the second Friendly Spirit. So tons of stats here. They don't reach our backline, and we kill the Zelhua. And now we are on to the final. So final game, we're able to complete our Friendly Spirit. We're only going to get a tier 4 treasure off this one, so this one is an easy skip. I do take a look at what we have, but only grabbing a tier 4 from that. I'm going to grab a good ranged unit. I think that's a really good pickup. I could also take the Lancelot. It will be a free tier 5 treasure. But I think that we can do better than that, because this is probably the last turn of the game, assuming that we are going to win. This is a really good front line here. I kind of do like picking up another Lady of the Lake instead of the Court Wizard, but let's just roll with what we got. And after we cast a free roll here, because I don't think that I can pick up the Lancelot. Oh, yeah, I go for the free roll. Yeah, it's free. I see another Good Boy. And then we're going to be able to put that in. So I'm going to sell off 3 units. I'm going to put the bear in first, and then I'm going to sell my bear and pick up Good Boy. And this is only going to give us a level 6 treasure, but that level 6 treasure is a Phoenix Feather, and Phoenix Feather I think is worth a little bit more than just another level 6 treasure. It's basically a level 7 treasure. It just got moved down in this patch. And Phoenix Feather alongside Mirror Mirror, wow, voice crack there. Phoenix Feather alongside Mirror Mirror is just absolutely insane. Good Boy resummons, it gives it to itself, and it resummons a 1/1 Good Boy, which also gets the buff. Then Good Boy dies, it resummons itself again and gives itself double that buff again. So now this Good Boy is giving 1,000 elsewhere, and that is going to give us a huge baby bear. So that's enough to take out Merlin. I would say that I got 4 level 7 treasures this game because the Phoenix Feather really is that strong. Small note, I should have put the baby bear in 7 and put the godmother up in 4, because if my opponent targets the baby bear on the first attack, the baby bear would summon the papa bear, and then it would also summon a baby bear here in 2, which would take up room for our Good Boy to be able to summon. So that could have been a little bit bad for us. Not really terrible. It just would have meant that we didn't get absolutely bonkers stats on the last turn instead of getting that. And even the baby bear could have just been better as like a prince or princess for our court wizard or something like that. But you do definitely want to play a slot down here. You just want to reorder your stuff just the tiniest little bit. But yeah, there you go. Like I said, we'll have stuff coming out on the new patch soon. I just want to get through my backlog of these really sweet games. And I thought a game where I was able to grab 4 arguably level 7 treasures was still sweet enough and worth showcasing. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.